Hello and welcome to my review of the Legion Praetor in Cataphractii armour for the Death Guard for Warhammer, the Horus Heresy from Forge World. Now he's right here. I'm not sure why I didn't start the video off with him on the table, but there he is. He's a resin miniature and he will cost you £31, which is about right for the Legion Praetors. They seem to all be about that price. An exception is the Emperor's Children Legion Tartarus Praetor for £28.50 for some reason, but you can expect to pay £31 for the Dark Angels Legion Praetor. The format of this video is as follows. I'll give you a good close look at the miniature. I'll show you the spare parts, of which there is only one. It's just a different head option. Then we'll go through some size comparisons, and finally I'll go through all of the rules for a Praetor in Cataphractii Terminator armour. So let's have a little look at the miniature. So here he is. He's a big boy. He is a big Praetor. The axe, the double-handed axe, is absolutely huge. It's like a great axe or something. It's difficult to explain just how big it is without showing you. It's definitely bigger than, you know, most Space Marines in length. This weapon, it's ginormous. And you know, really complements Death Guard. You could probably have him as a Lord of Contagion, maybe in a 40k army. He fits Death Guard very, very well. He's got the Cataphractii plate. He's got the 14th symbol on the shoulder pauldrons. The van braces look awesome. He's got this all-spec scanner thing. I'm not sure why, but he has. He's got this chemical incense thing. You've got the helmet. It's got a bit of a scratch on it. That's intentional for the mini. I'm not a massive fan of the head of the helmet that they've used. I think the hooded cloak works pretty well. You've got this this weapon on the side, which I think is a combi grenade launcher. I know, right? Do we even know that they exist? But yeah, he's got a combi grenade launcher. Because it's hidden, you could probably pass it off as any kind of combi weapon. The cloak is a bit more ornate than the sort of standard Praetor. I have to tell you that. It's got a bit of a framing to it, which is very nice. You've got chainmail and things hanging off different parts of the miniature. The greaves look awesome. I like this, you know, what they've done there with the legs. The power plant looks pretty decent. You've got these nice accessorized sort of cloak attachments there, which look good. Yeah, the model went together quite well. Definitely better than the standard sort of Praetor, but yeah. Okay, so spare parts then. You're just getting the different head option right here, which is, let's just zoom back in actually. I think that looks quite cool. I like that. So that's a decent head option if you wanted to go down that route. And now for the size comparisons. So compared to the other Death Guard Praetor right here, he is, I'd say, a little bit taller. His eye level is probably a little bit lower though, but he is on a scenic base, the normal Praetor. If he wasn't on that scenic base, the sizes would sort of match up. This Praetor has a big fancy 4-vented power plant though, and a big scythe. I mean, the scythe is taller than the Terminator, but the axe is a fair bit bigger than the standard Praetor too. So that's where they sort of measure up. You can't really go wrong with either. Presence, I don't know, they both emanate this you know, powerful aura, so you can't really go wrong. Maybe as like a icon of your army or a centerpiece, or as like a little centerpiece for your army, you know, this probably works better because he's standing in that pose, got the scythe, you know, he's instantly recognisable as Death Guard. The other Praetor, sort of, but, you know, from a distance, it's Cataphractii with a big axe. So, yeah, can't wait to see what they come up with for the World Eaters Praetors, which I hope that they do, because some of the other Death Guard models in the range are quite old and these are brand new, and I just like how Forge World are releasing newer miniatures for the older legions now that they've got Dark Angels complete. So other size comparisons I can make with this Cataphractii. I'm not sure why, but I will compare it to another Cataphractii Terminator. You might want to put these plastic ones from your Age of Darkness set in with him, and he is a fair bit bigger, bit chunkier, definitely gonna stand out amongst them. I don't know why I've got Marduk Cedras here, probably because I did a review of him quite recently, but that's where he sort of stands. Marduk is taller, but only because of that scenic base. If you didn't have the scenic base, they would be the same height. A sort of standard size Space Marine, I've got an Interemptor here. He's a fair bit taller than an Interemptor, so he would be taller than your other Mark IIIs in your Death Guard force, which I would definitely recommend you building. So I have a few other Praetors in Terminator armour. I've got a few in Tartarus armour, which are these three. So we've got the big boy himself, the biggest one, the Imperial Fist. We've got the Word Bearers and the Emperor's Children. And we've got another two in the Cataphractii, the Ultramarines and the Dark Angels. I'm missing a few more. There's probably no chance of me picking them up, except for the Sons of Horus Praetor in the Cataphractii, who does look awesome, and I have the Sons of Horus you know, Praetor already, so they'll just go well with Horus whenever I pick him up. But yeah, compared to the Tartarus Terminators, first of all, so the Death Guard one is, I want to say, similar height, very similar. Yeah, very, very similar. And obviously this is the elephant in the room, because this Praetor is absolutely huge. He's such a big boy. He's way, way bigger, even in that Tartarus pattern. The Dark Angels one is probably a good comparison. They are almost on par. And then the Ultramarines is a bit difficult because he's sort of stood on a bit of a scenic base. But again, they're quite a... but then these two are a nice comparison too. So... yeah, if you've got other Praetors and things, or you're going up against other Praetors in forces, then he's going to hold his own, except for if you go up against Imperial Fists. And the final sort of few size comparisons I want to make is just with some 40k miniatures right here. So we've got a normal Space Marine, a fair bit bigger than him, so that means he will be bigger than, you know, your 40k Death Guard, who are a bit taller, a bit more bloated. And then there's a Primaris. Primaris is taller than the Terminator, and then you've got Sly Marbo. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for this Praetor in Cataphractii Terminator armour for the Death Guard. I'll go through a little bit of Death Guard rules, but if you want to know more about the Warlord traits and things, I would suggest you watch my Death Guard Praetor review, because I go into more depth there. So this Legion Cataphractii Praetor, it's got his own data sheet, much like the Tartarus and the Praetor. After those Praetors, you can then pick up a Centurion. It's important to note that you can actually pick up a Centurion in Cataphractii Terminator armour, so if you wanted a much cheaper Praetor, not quite half price, a bit more than half price, I say a worse stat line, it's not hugely worse. He is a bit slower, but you are getting that extra wound that the Terminator armour offers. So if you wanted a cheaper Praetor and pick a Centurion, might be worth giving them the Terminator armour. Anyway, the Legion Cataphractii Praetor will cost you 135 points, which is, yeah, the most expensive Praetor out of the three. His movement is 6 inches, weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 5, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 4, initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 10, and a save of 2+. Super, how does that compare to a normal Legion Praetor? Well, you are a little bit slower, you know, you're 6 inches, and you are getting 1 extra wound, so that's great. You know, you're getting your 4 wounds instead of the 3. I always find that, you know, 3 wounds is not a huge amount for a model that's like 120 points. The War Gear, Combi Bolter, Power Weapon, Legion Cataphractii, Terminator Armour, Special Rules, Legiones Astartes, Master of the Legion, Independent Character, Relentless, Inexorable and Bulky. So you may exchange Combi Bolter for one of the following: a Magna Combi Weapon, a Minor and a Volkite Charger. Of course, this is a minor combi weapon, of which include a flamer, Volkite or grenade launcher. So this guy's got a combi grenade launcher. You get your primary weapon, which is a bolter, which is range 24 inch, strength 4, AP 5, rapid fire. And then your grenade launcher is you've got a couple of profiles. You can either have a frag grenade at 24 inches, strength 3, AP 6, assault 1, blast 3 inch pinning, which is quite useful. Or you can go for a crack, which is a 24 inch range, strength 5, AP 4, assault 1. Yeah, you're getting one shot there at strength 5. I'd probably go for the pinning rather than the crack. I don't think the crack is going to do much to things, but like I said before, the combi weapon on this model is hidden. You could say that it's a combi melter or a combi plasma to add a bit more punch, as long as you pay for your points. You're only extra 5 points, and I think that's a good trade-off. Getting a melter for the 12 inch range, strength 8, AP 1, armor bane, but it is only 1 shot, and the plasma, again, you're getting breaching 4+, that gets hot 1 shot as well. So it might be better going for the melter, especially if you want to get this guy in close combat quite quickly. You can also take a Power Fist, Lightning Claw, Chain Fist, Thunderhammer, or Paragon Blade, or 2 Lightning Claws and a Grenade Harness. Now the power weapon can be a Power Sword, Power Axe, Power Maul, Power Lance. If you're against me, I would let you proxy that Power Axe as something else, depending on the game and the forces used, because a Power Axe is a +1 strength, which is 5, AP 2, melee, but it is unwieldy, which brings it down a little bit. However, you know, it does have the best armor penetration of these, so what that actually means is other Terminators are gonna be forced to use their invulnerable 4+ or 5+ saves with it, and considering he gets 4 attacks as well at a weapon skill of 6 is pretty good. He's a bit of a beast. Of course, nothing's stopping you from making your own Death Guard Legion Praetor and equipping him with a Power Scythe for Death Guard if you wish to do that, and then he would match Typhon and Mortarion and all of your Death Shroud Terminators. If you wanted to do that, the Power Scythe is a strength +2, but it's AP 3. It is rending 6+, two-handed reaping blow. So it's still pretty good and is comparable to a Power Maul, but has that rending 6+ and reaping blow attached to it. So it's a nice upgrade. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about this Death Guard Legion Praetor in Cataphractii Terminator armour. Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Death to the False Emperor.